definitely great input, and there's a lot of things that employers could do to create that incentive for the right decisions so we could help control costs going forward. And then also, in the workplace, we always try to find better ways for customizing the benefits to the needs, meet the employees where they're at, right? And so, and I know before we jumped on and started recording this webinar here, that we talked about briefly about this shopping spree idea that you guys have to kind of customize things. Can you share a little bit more into it? I know it sounds really attractive, and I think it could be good to help meet the employees where they're at and build a benefit package that they're looking for.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, it really does. And credit where it's due to Eric Silverman. He's the one that came up with the term shopping spree. But really, all it is for all you other benefits nerds out there, it's really just simply a defined contribution strategy when it comes to non-medical benefits. And so what we do there is, because typically what we've seen traditionally over time is you've got an employer who sponsors the health plan, right? And they've got their defined contribution for the health plan, whatever that might be. And then a lot of times, a lot of employers would pay for dental, vision, and some kind of group life insurance. And then everything else would kind of be voluntary. And typically most employees would, they would maybe decide what they want to do on medical, and then they would take dental and vision and life insurance because, hey, well, if the boss is paying for it, I'm going to take it because, this is my one chance a year to spend his money or her money.
Yep.
So we're gonna take advantage of that. And so what we've done is we go to those same employers and we say, hey, you're spending all this money on dental, vision, and life insurance, but maybe not everybody needs that or wants it, right? There's, people like me, I don't wear glasses or contacts, right? So I have no need or want for vision insurance. There might be somebody else who doesn't want dental insurance, right? So why make that decision for them and just buy it for them? Why not include them and provide them with the incentives? And what I mean by that is you can include them in the decision by saying, hey, look, we're going to sponsor a medical plan, and then we're going to offer this whole menu of different other options that you've got. Yes, it includes dental, vision, life insurance, but it could also include disability, accident, pet insurance, for crying out loud. I mean, whatever your heart desires, you can offer to employees. But then rather than just spending that money on dental and vision and life insurance, saying, hey, look, Mr. Employee, we're going to give you that money to decide what you want to spend it on. So it could be $50 a month or $50 a paycheck or 100, whatever it is, whatever amount you decide, whatever amount you budget for. The employees then, as they're going through the enrollment process, have that money, that shopping spree money allocated that they can spend on any of those benefits. They can buy any of those benefits. They can put those in their shopping cart and take them home with them, right? So it allows them to finally decide. Now they've got the incentive because they've got this tax advantaged amount of money that must be spent on benefits. They can't put it in their check and get taxed on it or anything like that. But they must spend it on benefits. So now they get to decide. If they want dental, they can take dental. If they want vision, they can take that. If they want some other lines of coverage, whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is, they're involved in the decision, maybe for the first time ever, and more so than just simply accept this line of coverage or waive this line of coverage. They actually get to be part of the decision in building their own custom benefit package that's unique to themselves and what they need for themselves and their family, right? And so, and then what it does from the employer's perspective is now no longer are you just offering these lines of coverage. You're saying, hey, we're going to spend this amount of money on you, whatever it is, and you get to decide what you want. And so it makes it very, very easy and simple, because here's the other thing is we get plenty of people that participate in that. We also, in some cases, we have some people that end up spending less. So it ends up costing the employer less because you've got some people that just say, well, I don't want any of that extra stuff. They can't take that additional money in their check. So then the employer just keeps that. But yet they've made that pledge and they've asked for the employee's input and their participation in building that package because it is customized to that person. There's really no better way in my mind to, one, boost your engagement, because now people have to be involved in the decision. And two, to really reward your employees, because again, now they get to choose. They get to have skin in the game. They get to participate in the benefits decision-making process which is something they haven't been able to do probably ever.
So, Chris, with your experience working with this, how you mentioned briefly on engagement as a there's a boost in engagement. Have you seen that there's, I would say, more motivation in the workplace as there've been more employees morale is up, and have you seen a higher enrollment rate for any of that for more of those products so they could use them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely have seen enrollments go up because the other side of it is there's plenty of other people that will, while there are people that will just waive it and say, all right, well, this dental's good with me. I don't need vision, saves the employer a little money there. But the other thing that's happened too is what we've seen is we get some people that as they see what their allocation is, let's just say it's $50 a month, right? So they spend their $50. Well, they also see, hey, I want pet insurance too, or I want this disability insurance or whatever it is. So we have had a lot of people that end up spending more than that, right? Because they decide that's what's right for them.
Sure.
They just have that difference, whatever that delta is, they have payroll deducted. But they're more than happy with it because now they've built themselves a benefit package, was partially subsidized, obviously, by the employer, but they've got the lines of coverage that they want, they need, and are the most valuable to them. So yeah, we have definitely seen an uptick in the number of in the volume and the overall policies that have been sold, but also it's all these. It's not as though everybody's just taking dental and vision and life insurance. They're taking all these other different lines of coverage. And I've joked a couple of times now about pet insurance, but yeah, but that's one that has been more popular, especially over these last few years. A lot of people are concerned about Fido, right? They love their pets more than their kids sometimes, right? And so anyway, so yeah, anytime you can offer something to employees without necessarily having to pay for it directly, I think is always a win because the perception is, and it's true, it's reality. Many times these are lines of coverage that people are it's not available to them in an individual market, but it is available to a group on a group chassis or, as part of a group plan, so to speak. So yeah, we've definitely seen that. And it's also helped with the retention and the attraction of new employees and those types of things. And I can just tell you from personal experience, taking that approach itself has won opportunities for us. And that's won new clients for us because it's out of the box, right? Just like everything else we do, it's going to be a little bit different than that traditional status quo. And so that's extremely valuable for a lot of employers out there now. They want to differentiate themselves when trying to attract people to their organization to come work there. And having a robust benefits program and having a out-of-the-box benefits program is an easy way to differentiate yourself versus the, what's seen as traditional. One of the other things that we've done, Butch, is we've told some of our clients, we've said, hey, why don't you A/B test this, right? Next time you've got a job opening and you're getting ready to post it, just do this for me. Just post these two different things where, in the more traditional format, you just post, what the job is, maybe what the salary range is. And then typically what you'll see is maybe some of the job duties, but then they'll list out, medical, dental, vision, 401k, they'll just list out the employee benefits. And so I tell them, hey, look, why don't you, next time you're doing that, just list all that stuff out. But why don't, rather than just putting medical, dental, vision, 401k, put in there that you've got at least in our case for our clients, you've got a zero deductible health plan option.
All right, a little technical error, but we're right back at it. Any final thoughts on that?
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, I did. I got lost there. I got ahead of steam, and then my internet couldn't keep up with how fast my mouth was moving, I guess. Anyway, so what I was talking about is A/B testing your new hire posting or your new job postings or things like that, and differentiating yourself in those jobs, just explaining the benefits program and listing out the fact that you've got a zero deductible health plan or that you've got a benefit shopping spree. And so those are things that are going to be very unique when somebody's evaluating jobs and when they're looking at pay scales and benefits and stuff like that. And that may be something that catches somebody's attention in a way that at least begins a conversation and that type of thing. So anyways, that's, that I think where I got cut off. But
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, no, this is all good stuff. Getting the employees engaged is definitely a key thing, and the shopping spree definitely is great. And one of the experiences that we have, and I'm certain you had, is on the medical side is definitely plan design, right? And so there's times we went in there and we changed plan designs, and all of a sudden we have a huge amount of increase of enrollments, and it's I feel like it comes back to what we started out with on the other webinar where we talked about, some of the stuff here is work, right? And it's not old school tactics. And like, I think the phrase you use is, we're going to modernize the healthcare, right? And so just by doing a little work for the client could change outcomes. And one case study I have is we changed some plan designs just on the medical. We didn't even get the dental and vision stuff yet. And so this is dating a few years back, but we rechanged some of the plan designs and restructured some things to kind of meet where the employees were at. And they doubled the enrollment piece of it, but at the same time, per employee cost actually went down as a result of it. Part of it was because of the increase of enrollment, but the other part is because we redid the plan designs to kind of meet where the employees were at. And it worked. It worked like a charm in that case. And so the old school thinking with a lot of the brokers and advisors that are out there obviously is not meeting some of the employers, especially the ones that are ready to toss up their hands and say, look, I can't keep up with this. This is going faster than inflation. I can't increase my product prices fast enough to keep up with the healthcare. And it is the second biggest expense in the company underneath payroll.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that's what, going back to the first part of this conversation, that's what just blows me away, that the fact is that, for so long, nobody's, by and large, a lot of people have not figured out a way that they can control these costs, or they just believe that they can't. And for it to be such a big item, as you said, it's number 2 or number 3 in pretty much every organization, you can't sustain that, right? You can't sustain such a big expense, continues to go up year after year after year. And at a, in many cases, on average, a double-digit clip, right? That's just, in terms of percentage points. But yeah, no, you just can't do that long term. I think we've kind of reached that tipping point for a lot of organizations out there. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a hard phone call when you get that phone call that's saying that, hey, I was referred over to you, and it's actually happened to me where they're like, if I don't do anything soon on this healthcare thing, I'm gonna have to shut my doors. There's nothing. And if they're small enough, especially under 50 employees, because of the ACA ruling, they're just like, I'm just going to pull it and just insure my family because I own the company. And so, and everybody else will have to just go buy their own health insurance. And it's getting out of control. And there's obviously, things that we can do. It's just a matter of modernizing the health plan. But sometimes you have to get that second opinion and get somebody else in the door, because you're going to have to start doing something different. Which, when you were talking about a lot of that, it reminded me of your book, the comic book, because you had the outlier come in with a different proposal, and no one's ever seen it before, but somehow it made all the world in a difference, and they end up winning the business, and life is good. But go search on Amazon or wherever you buy your books and look for Chris Wolpert, and you'll be able to find that book. It's actually pretty good. So good plug for you, but it's an excellent analogy in the comic book of what our current environments are between traditional and then modernizing the healthcare plan.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, thanks, Butch. Yeah, I appreciate the plug.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, this has been great, Chris. We'll come back and we'll talk about more employer concepts and how, especially as we move in forward through open enrollment season coming up. A lot of those middle market companies and even large companies are getting the renewals right now in the coming weeks, and right now is a good time to start looking for some of this stuff. So thanks, Chris, for your time.
Thanks, Butch. You bet.